attention on me.
Lois Lane. Yes, she is. Welcome to Comics League Dark. I am Jared. I'm here with Robert and Teladia. What's up, gentlemen?
Yo.
Oh my god, I'm just seeing stuff on social media right now to do.
We'll talk about that. And we are here with Nick Patch. What's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Welcome to the show. So we'll be talking about his comic in a bit, but first, let's talk about some Peacemaker. So Nick and I have talked backstage. He hasn't seen it, but he's cool with spoiling it, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know if I was ever gonna watch it anyway, but spoilers never bothered me anyhow. So
all right. So, but how much of the show have you watched, or if at all?
I hardly remember anything, but I think I remember maybe the first episode. It was up to like the twist about that one girl being one of the are they Fireflies? Something, whatever they are.
Oh, so for season one.
Okay, so that's season one.
From
right,
season
so
one, sir. Yeah.
Oh wow. I'm right with you. So all right, season 2's plot is it takes place in the James Gunn like DC universe. He finds another dimension and he discovers that it's perfect in every way. He will learn it's not so perfect because it's like, what if the German army won World War II, if you catch my drift. So he discovers it's not perfect and everything like that. So he has to fight against that. He shows up back. Yes, Cameron, it is as bad as they've been saying. So he shows back up and it's like, so they discover that all these like multiversal portals leading to all these different worlds, which was cool. The problem is, and getting to this episode, can James Gunn stop overhyping stuff? Because all I see about this is like, this is the craziest thing I've ever done. And I'm like, it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
I mean, he overhyped Flash for sure. I'll say that at least.
That was more out of obligation, though.
Yeah, it's true. Well,
the
minute Stephen King starts overhyping Flash, that's when
Tom Cruise overhyped it.
The D'Amelio sisters were hyping Flash, and I go, what? Anyway, so the episode. I'm gonna explain the plot of the episode. Spoiler alert to anyone that cares. If not, all right. So we discover that Flag has recruits more of Lex Luthor's goons, like we see Otis, and his idea is they're going to use one of the worlds that you can access through Peacemaker's doors. What's up, NJ? And use it as a prison, essentially, to just place all the metahumans and just leave them there.
Basic Salvation Run.
Which is the well, here's the thing. Gunn says he's not adapting Salvation Run. He's just using that concept, which I'm like, okay, right. That's fine. But yeah. Here's the problem. So so we do the Salvation thing. We take a break from that. So Peacemaker and his friends can establish a checkmate, which is fine. I'm like, okay, I knew as soon as Sasha Bordeaux shows up in this show, you know they're gonna do checkmate eventually.
Yep.
So it shows the establishment of a checkmate. Rick Flag Sr. kidnaps Peacemaker, throws him in the prison, and the episode ends. And I go, that's it. Now, here's the thing. I get what he's doing. Yeah, and he established the prison. That's cool, and that's important for the DCU story. But did he have to make it? Because he basically represented it like we're going to see all sorts of cameos from the show, from like the DCU, all the important characters. And I go, but we didn't.
Yep.
Like, what's the? I don't understand this. And it's like, that's when people call James Gunn a liar. That's the one part where it makes me think, they're not wrong.
They're not. He overhyped lies. But I don't think he ball-faced. Okay, this was a ball. Okay, But it doesn't. He does lie on occasion, but not enough to say never trust anything he says.
Well, he's getting to that point because he said at first he said that like there weren't any needle drops in Superman. We know that was wrong.
So,
Yeah.
So I was gonna say this, right?
Yeah.
When it comes down to Peacemaker, because I've been covering it with my good buddy Roland and James, shout outs to him. Where I have a theory about the ending.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So obviously the ending leads into the meta-human prison.
Yeah.
And I believe in the Man of Tomorrow film, we are gonna get like some of the meta-humans that were in Creature Commandos, and also Peacemaker. You know, they're gonna be in that prison. I also think that in Peacemaker, I think Superman's gonna help Peacemaker to escape. That's what I believe.
I think Gunn did say that Peacemaker's not going to be in Man of Tomorrow. Though.
No, I think it's going to be more Lanterns where that might happen.
Yeah, it
You
might.
think
but,
so?
Yeah, but here's the and by Nick. So now that we have recounted Peacemaker, what do you think?
I mean, I'm burnt out on these multiple universe things that are just an excuse to mix together all of our existing IPs and hopefully make something that's going to make money. But I mean, Superman didn't really make a lot of money, and Peacemaker. Like, I really like the Suicide Squad movie that he's from. It's got its ups and downs. There are good things about it and bad things, but I did like the Peacemaker character a lot. It's interesting to know that Rick Flag's dad is in it and kidnaps him and everything. That's kind of interesting. But I don't know. It seems like, he wanted to try and tie it in, but it's like a very loose tie-in.
And
I just don't like multiverse excuse. Like, if you're gonna do multiverse, go in on it and make that the plan from the start and make it something like meaningful. Do it meaningfully. Not just an IP mash to try and make money.
May I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
To be fair, it was done more as an idea, not an IP mash here. To be fair.
Yeah, it wasn't like all of a sudden we saw like Henry Cavill Superman, even though that would be dope. But NJ asks, isn't Steve Trevor a part of Checkmate in the comics? Is he?
No, he's part of Argus.
Okay, in which case, kill him. But Wombat says, I want to see more of Rick Flag Sr. and what is it, gender? Yeah, me too. I think he's going to take the Amanda Waller
Now people are complaining that it came out of nowhere. No, it didn't. It's because he joined up with Lex, and now through Lex, he's now taking Lex's viewpoint on things. So it makes sense.
I also believe this. Like, obviously, that James Gunn has confirmed we're not getting Peacemaker season 3. I think they might I think they're going to do a Checkmate show.
Yep. I could see that.
I think that could be the Waller show, what it's been turned into.
Yeah, I think that Waller show is turned into a Checkmate show where that revolves around Sasha Bodo. It's like Sasha. I can't pronounce the same.
However you pronounce it, it's fine. We know who you're talking about, Teladia.
Yeah. So her character, and maybe that could lead into the Batman Brave and the Bold.
It could,
because she
is linked to Batman.
She is linked to Batman, yeah. So there's that, and then on top of that, you've got if you remember, the last time Checkmate was on television actually was in Smallville. That was that was it. So that was like over a decade ago. So this will be the first time Checkmate has been on television or film or something, right? And when it comes down to Rick Flag Sr. seeing Lex's point of view, he's gonna put all the metahumans in there, from a G.I. Robot to the Frankenstein's monster to you know.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if he wants that to be his army, what?
I don't know.
The problem with putting all essentially the Suicide Squad or the Creature Commandos in there is he needs easy access to them because they're like his strike team.
But the thing is, even though he's a strike team, Why is he set up a prison that is?
That's the thing. I think he's more going to toss in any criminals in there. I don't think he's going to toss in people he feel are useful.
Or it's like essentially they'll toss like, let me put it this way: if they ever do like an absolute power adaptation, they're putting all the superhumans in there.
Or if they like Joker will be tossed in there.
Which I'm like that. And see, here's the thing, Nick. I have like a aversion to Batman's no-kill rule because I think it's stupid. But I'm like, so let me get this straight. Superman has access to like the Fortress of Solitude's like Phantom Zone projection. No one thought to put the prisoners on like another Earth, close the door, and be done with it.
Well, in the case of the Phantom Zone, that would still be cruel.
But still, the point is, Nick, is like there's so many. That's the way you use the multiverse. Use it as a prison, which I appreciate that. But it's like this is really the first time people are thinking of this. I don't understand this.
But I just think from a perspective, what James Gunn is doing is he's building out the universe, and he's doing it in a smart way. He's not doing it rushing out, like rushing out these
like the original DCU tried to do.
Yeah,
like the original DCU tried to do.
Yeah,
right?
he's sprinkling it in.
He's sprinkling it in, taking his time. Like, yeah, you can call me a James Gunn shill if you want, right? But I'm not.
I won't.
I'm a DC fan first and foremost, and I like the idea that I get introduced to new things that I've never learned before. Like Checkmate, yeah, I've heard of Checkmate, but I've never knew about Sasha Bordeaux. I never knew about like the background of it. I never understood it before. So until like I would say this season, like today's episode of Peacemaker, I kind of started to understand it. So I started doing some research on it. And honestly, I find it really interesting.
Yeah, it's a cool thing.
Now, by the way, Jared, you know what's got me a big boost now after this episode? The Salvation Run video episode you and I did.
Of course. Flag is going to take supervillains from Arkham, Black Age. Because if you notice, so what they did in this season is sprinkle in that the people held in like Strikers Heights or like any of those prisons keep breaking out. It's like there's even
revolving door.
Yeah, the prison break in the episode, and Flag addressed this, which I'm like, yeah, it's like this is the one time where maybe I want some like synergy with the comics, because at this point, why do they keep putting them in that prison?
But here's the problem, and I do think while he's not going to fully follow Salvation Run, it does show one big problem. You have all these villains together. You're eventually give them the goal to want to escape. Many of these are super geniuses. They're going to figure out a way.
Yeah, exactly. And JJheat's here, so I'm going to play his intro. So, JJheat, what'd you think of the Peacemaker finale?
Mid. Wait, what?
Yes.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
It was. He's saying it's mid. I agree. Well, it's.
By the way, now, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Robert.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No.
Robert,
I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead for you guys. Okay. So I gotta ask JJheat this, right? I've got so JJheat, obviously you said it's mid, right? How do you feel about the pocket now they've put this prison set up? How do you feel about the ending, setting up the larger universe?
The season as a whole is mid, but the setup, first of all, Salvation Run is a deep cut in of itself, because that was the most obscure part of Final Crisis. Like hardly anybody even talks about it. So I will give James Gunn his flowers for that. But it does play into overall the season. But if you're going straight into this from Creature Commandos, you are going to get a bit of a 180, because in Creature Commandos, Flag was kind of like the de facto protagonist. And then in here, he becomes a bona fide villain just to get revenge on Chris for his son. And again, if you want to be more versatile, it's good. It's just it could have been executed better is all I'm saying. We wasted way too much time on the effects stuff.
Yes, we did. Yeah, that's the other thing. They set it up in the season. And by the way,
episode 6. They set it up in episode 6.
Yeah, but they set it up that like they're fighting, and so yeah, the Earth X stuff that was like practically nothing. I mean, it's set up Chris's like character arc throughout the season, which I get it, but it's like it went on for way too long to the point where I thought Earth X was the main plot of the season. It turns out it's not.
It does tie into. I will say this: it does tie into Chris's art. Like, oh, I've been through all this trauma. Death follows me everywhere I go, and then even this fantasy is the worst reality that could possibly happen for me. But at least I have my family whole. I get where they're coming from. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, one, the Earth-X subplot dragged on way too long. You only had 8 episodes commission-wise to work with for a plot point that could have been resolved in 3, maybe 4 at the absolute most.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
No, but you gotta remember, Chris's brother is still alive, so this could set up him being in another project. Where
not really, over. Because they
possibly
closed that door off.
No,
possibly.
No, because if you remember, Jared, he was still in an ambulance, so he was still alive.
No, I know that, but in the end of the episode, they set it up that now they have the dimension.
The tease is there, is what he's saying. The tease is there.
They don't have to go through the like hub area anymore. They can just go straight to the prison. So so there's like there would be no place where Chris's brother could intersect.
That is true, but I do have an inkling feeling of how James gonna setting things up, and I like it. I dig it, and I just wish we got a trailer for Lanterns, though. I really wish we got a trailer for Lanterns because.
By the way,
one more day of NYCC.
I was just like.
Okay, but anyway,
I was just gonna say very quickly. You know whose idea was for Salvation Run?
Who?
I told you this one, J.R.R. Martin or George R.R. Martin.
Oh, how about that?
Oh, the story.
That was
okay.
his idea. It was his concept. Now you had other writers doing it, but it was his concept.
George R.R. Martin originally pitched it, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's pretty cool. It's a good thing he didn't actually do it because otherwise it would not. We would not have gotten a satisfying ending.
Or an ending period.
Exactly. Thanks,
mean,
Nick.
Maybe he
I'm
should be doing
convinced George R.R. Martin is just writing off the royalties
guys.
at this point. I am genuinely convinced.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. People have theories. I think that like he decided to split it into 2 books, and that's why like his page count got shorter. Is because like a bunch of those pages went to the second book. But anyway, I don't know if it's ever going to get finished. But little side tangent.
Yeah, who knows? Go ahead.
I do want to say I think it's smart. I think Robert said it that they might bring in Checkmate into the Lantern show. I think that makes sense. Like I feel like Disney was trying to do this and didn't do it too well. Is kind of keep the shows and the movies semi connected, but like
with references here and there.
Yeah,
and
so
go ahead.
Well, just that the Lanterns might mesh up more with Peacemaker than Peacemaker or Lanterns really mesh with Superman or the movies that end up coming
Probably. I would imagine so. What do you want to say, JJheat?
I was just going to add on to that he's not too far off, but I forget the name of the executive. He shut that down because he didn't want all Marvel projects consolidated under the MCU for synergy purposes. I forget the executive's name, but he had you don't have to like the guy, but he had a point that if you consolidate everything in one basket, you're gonna bleed the brand dry. And if everything's consolidated together, there's no added variety. Like textbook example, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That was actually one of the best cartoons of the late 2000s, regardless of MCU synergy, and you completely squandered the last 2 seasons because of MCU synergy. Spectacular Spider-Man, another infamous example. And again, like you have all these other side projects, you can still, play into the brand as a whole and these characters. But if you rope everything too much into one thing, there's no variety. And then you limit your audience in the long term.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. And I think like that's kind of why I think that they're going to do it this way is they want people who watch TV to not have to watch the movies to get the TV, and vice versa. People who go to the movie theater but aren't really binge watching shows like Peacemaker or like if Checkmate becomes a show. Like they kind of want to keep it separate, but they want it to kind of halfway be in the same basket, like a basket with a partition. Same basket with a partition. I think that's what they're doing.
Yeah, like I said before, I think the one thing they are going to avoid, we're not going to get the Marvels or Multiverse of Madness.
Robert, you are very low in volume.
Hello. How about now? Do I sound better?
Nope.
No, you sound muffled.
How about now?
There you go.
Much better. There you
go. As I was saying, sorry, my headphone got moved a bit back. It was underneath of my shirt.
Okay.
As I was saying, the thing is, I think what they're going to avoid, and then what they all should avoid, they don't want to be like the Marvels or Multiverse of Madness, where it is or even Captain America 4, where it is required to watch it because they're not going to even explain anything, and like huge plot points. All right, like I've said before, I'm positive Man of Tomorrow, the most is going to be is, I heard you help things out and you were getting a reduced sentence. Yeah, well, I had to stop a guy who likes to use guns.
Yeah, there you go. If you do that, it's like even in season 2 of Peacemaker, they basically say, oh, remember when Lex opened a prison, opened a portal to another dimension?
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like that. So I mean, if they do it that way, and Gunn even said that because all the stuff he's writing is telling one story, which is like all the stuff that deals with the main plot of the DCU he is handling, and he said one of the balancing acts that he has to deal with is he's trying to write the project so you can see them all, but you don't necessarily have to. So he's trying to link them without. Kind of without making it homework.
Larger plot points will carry over here and there or be referenced, but you don't have to watch everything, basically.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I mean by the metaphor with the basket.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, like I said, just like those MCU stuff, those were the big problems. Because let's be honest, everyone was lost.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. All including the comic fans.
Comics energy aside, that's Marvel now, all new, all different. There's a separate conversation for a different stream. But I will give grace for Phase 4 specifically because a lot of that was due to the, hopefully I don't get demonetized for saying this, pandemic, and they were adjusting from a business standpoint. That I understand. By the time Phase 5 rolled around, still were doing this business model with quantity over quality, like. Yeah, there's no excusing it. But at least during the pandemic, you at least had an argument to justify, okay, a lot of these projects were originally going to be commissioned as movies, but we're going to have to stretch them out into limited series.
I think that's an awful, you could use that as an excuse, but dude, there's no excuse for that. Like, they did it with Squid Game too. Like in Squid Game, Netflix said, hey, we really like this stuff you have. Can you add a plot line that's going to be totally detached and not affect anything and add up to nothing at the end? And they're like, yeah, of course. And it's the detective.
A glorified subplot to drag it out. I get what you're saying, but that's a little bit different. That's a little bit different from what I was saying. Okay, I'll name 3 examples across Phase 4 where this worked at least in some capacity. Kenobi, now, admittedly, I'm not a fan of Reva as a character. I think she's redundant. But at least Kenobi as a movie, that in itself is redundant because it's just a Vader versus Obi-Wan fight. And if it's not the New Hope, Obi-Wan's going to win in the end. You're just there for the intrigue and the fight itself. Make that a limited series and you're done. At least with that structure, you can at least justify Kenobi to a degree. The rest of them...
we're counting Star Wars as Phase 4?
I was using that. I was using that as example. But if you want one strictly tied to Marvel, then I would go with Falcon versus Winter Soldier because that was not a good enough script for an overall movie. And even with the extra time, they barely did anything with it. Like, how do you have John Walker, the Guy Gardner of Marvel, and he comes across as practically a saint compared to his comics counterpart?
Thank you.
I think it's a miscast. I think it's just bad writing.
They tried to make him like he was the villain, but boy, he's the only one who was making any sense out there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same in Thunderbolts too. Like they keep trying to say he's the bad guy. he's literally.
But remember, Sam's the good guy because he said, we can't, we don't call them terrorists, even though they're doing the exact things that terrorists do.
Yep. But
So I'm
can we
like,
agree though?
wow.
Can we agree though? Multiverse of Madness is one of the prime examples of what the problem was.
Yeah,
I can agree with that. Yeah, I mean, as far as trying to connect the shows to the movies and nobody knows what's going on. Yeah, like 100%.
I mean, the Marvels, I think it kind of worked better compared to Multiverse of Madness.
I don't know,
kind of, but not quite.
We had so much homework for Marvels, dude. There's multiple shows and movies, dude. Like so much homework.
Oh no, I know. I'm just saying between the two.
I don't know. Actually, I'd say Brave New World may have been worse because it's like you have the Incredible Hulk, like.
But none of that was in.
Okay. Let's actually have this conversation.
Yeah.
Brave New World is a sterilized mess. It was going to flop regardless. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way.
Yeah, I would say so.
Second of all, it's not even a Captain America movie. It's at best, it's tying up loose ends. At worst, you can't even use. Okay, I don't know officially if Marvel officially antiquated the movie rights to Hulk back because Universal hasn't done anything with Hulk with 15 years and 17 years. Excuse me. So I don't know if Marvel officially defaulted the movie rights to Hulk back, but even then, this should have been an Incredible Hulk 2 for all intents and purposes.
It was.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's a sequel to like 4 movies. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a sequel to like 2 movies and a TV show that no one watched. So it's like, what is this that we're doing here? And I think it's a prime example, even more than Multiverse of Madness, as to that problem of trying to connect things that don't need to be connected and forcing people to do homework to get a movie to understand a movie that's not even good anyway. Like,
right.
And even then, Brave New World is just a petty revenge scheme to expose Ross for being shady, even after playing into politics and gaining the presidency. Ross is notoriously shady, and he becomes Red Hulk by the end. And the only reason because he's the Hulk Hunter, he has this feud with Bruce. Not only, and I don't even think it's really over Betty at the end of the day. I think at the end of the day, the whole thing was just to sabotage, just to bury the Gamma Project.
Because Bruce it was his, he was behind it.
Yeah, he commissioned it.
I think she was in the way.
Yeah, the collateral damage.
Here's the other problem with this movie, and I love how we're talking about Captain America, but you know what? Screw it. Here's the other problem with this movie. How is Sam taking a punch from a Hulk?
Oh, big time, dude. It doesn't matter how much armor you have, dude.
You can claim there's vibranium in his suit, but that can only go so far.
Here's the thing. Momentum. The shockwave alone is going to turn his insides into goo.
Yeah, he's gone. It's like,
it's one thing with Steve because Steve's a super soldier. Sam never got the serum.
Yep. He can take that kind of damage to a degree.
Yeah. No, didn't you hear the speech that was given to him by Bucky that gave him, you don't need to be special, dude. You got it. Didn't you hear that? That gave him the strength.
You can inspire, unlike Steve. And I go, Steve inspires.
Let's just agree, though. In the long run, so far, the DCU is nowhere near that level yet so far. And
again, so far.
It hasn't reached the heights that Marvel.
It's an easy trap to fall into, is what we're saying. Rant aside, it's an easy trap to fall into.
Yes. And I will say this. I do think it's more likely to happen if Gunn is removed.
Right, because then someone's trying to retcon, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and you're trying to restructure the whole thing altogether. I mean, it's just going to be a DCEU situation after Snyder left.
I really think if you put the right person in, like I know, like some people are over Joss Whedon a lot, but like Joss Whedon, like he made, in my opinion, Justice League better than what Zack Snyder did. He did.
Okay, wait a minute.
Hold on.
I'm curious.
Wait, guys. Yeah. That was the first time anyone on this show has ever uttered those words before. I'm going to talk right now.
To be fair, I consider that.
Wait, guys, stop. I need to hear this. Explain.
Right. Well, so I think that a lot of the stuff people were pointing at Justice League and saying, look how cringe this is. Joss is ruining everything. Like most of that stuff was in the extended, Snyder version. So
extended Snyder cut.
Actually, it was in the Snyder's version. So like were
Henry
blaming
Cavill's
that.
lip.
Like,
the Clark told me you were the thirstiest girl he ever did meet. That was Joss.
well, yeah, that kid, but like most of it, like the majority of it, and
Okay,
like
name
I haven't
Name it,
done
come on.
like I haven't like broke it down like
Please take your time.
point by point, but
Mhm.
I think, and this is like my opinion. Obviously, there are
Yeah,
problems. Like
go ahead.
I really dislike the I can't remember what the things are called, but it blew at the beginning of Justice League. It blew up and like put here's the mother boxes.
Oh, the
on the-
parademon. It
Yeah, that
just
was
happened to
stupid.
have to like tattoo
Yeah.
on the wall a map of everything.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I think that was stupid, but I think that like Cyborg's arc and the story with his father was a lot stronger in Justice League than it was in the Snyder Cut.
But they cut like 99% of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, 80% of that 99% was slow motion shots that we didn't need.
All right. I'm going to stop you right there. Okay. I'm just going to stop you right there. Oh, I get what you're trying to say, and I'm not going to go into the production and how he just ripped off Avengers and the whole trying to get that end of the year bonus, because that story's been done to death. I'm not going to go into that, but I will say this. First of all, I will agree of the slow motion scenes. I agree that it was a 4-hour cut. There was a lot of fluff. But Cyborg's character arc and coming to terms with the loss of his humanity would not be considered fluff from a narrative standpoint.
Also,
Right, but I
the
think
other
it was
part.
mostly still there in Justice League. Like
No,
there
it
wasn't much
wasn't.
added in
No,
Snyder
it
Cut,
wasn't.
was
No,
there?
it wasn't. Most of it was.
Go through Justice League again. They completely skim it over. They skim through it.
Here's the other point, and I've
Yeah.
said this many times. If Zack's version of the movie were actually shown in theaters, it would not be 4 hours. Obviously, so a lot of those slow motion shots would be cut down or eliminated. Just saying, if you look at the complete movie, also, I'm sorry, the part that will always make, in my opinion, the Snyder Cut superior. Flash does not fall on Wonder Woman's boobs. Thanks, NJ. Exactly.
Crass humor and just Flash being a clip machine.
Here's the thing, John. In my opinion, and by Nick, it's nothing against you. I've just never had a guest on my show say that movie's better.
Yeah.
I was in shock. But anyway,
No, it's cool. I'll give a concession just to make the point I was trying to make at the beginning. So, I mean, Joss had, he had to do something that was antithetical to what was halfway done in production. He had a much stricter time limit than Snyder had. And he had like the whole, we have to make it more fun. Like he had a lot more like studio pressure, obviously, than Zack did. And I think that he did, even if you like Zack Snyder's better, I think that like that just proves that Joss is talented at fixing something with constraints as much as he can. And so there's a lot of constraints. Like he had a lot of constraints.
I'll agree with you. Joss made the best out of a bad situation from the production.
Right. Yeah,
I'll agree to that.
Yeah.
I will agree with that as well.
If you'll agree with that, then I can make the point that like the right person coming in, even if we get rid of James Gunn, and I'm not saying we should, but if we do and the right person comes in, I'm not saying it's Joss, but the right person could come in with what's established and do something really good with it. It doesn't like keeping James Gunn isn't necessarily going to be better than getting rid of him. It all depends on who comes in after him.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
That's a fair point.
And I will definitely agree with that because it's like here's the thing. It's not like the characters themselves suck or anything. Like it's not like you have boring characters because this is DC we're talking about. We have arguably the most iconic superheroes of all time, right? So it's like it's arguably the better characters than Marvel. I will make that argument, but it's like, yeah, and it's like so. That's the point. But anyway, so the point is, finale was kind of mad, and it's like time will tell if James Gunn falls into the homework like thing. But real quick before you leave, Dave brings up my point because to me, Justice League is just the Avengers if you put a Justice League skin on it, because that's not what the Justice League are. They're not the jokey characters. They can have jokes sometimes, but it's not like to the degree that Joss put it in there. Because remember, he was originally brought in just, and this is what was expressed to like the public, just to oversee the VFX and editing process. And then they use that as a pretense to have him reshoot the whole movie.
Yeah, because they were gonna use the whole tragedy to kick Snyder to the curb, and they that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, say what you will. Yeah, but that's pretty much what happened there. But I will, Nick, thank you so much for coming out to the show. We really appreciate it. But I will just say this one thing before you go.
Wait. He's staying.
He's
staying. What?
Stay.
Sorry,
you
guys are kicking me off. No, I'm just kidding.
No. You're good.
Misunderstanding.
It's all good.
Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties on my end. I'm sorry, but I will advocate. I will compromise and say yes. Justice League is a mess. It is slightly more structured than a hypothetical theatrical Snyder cut, especially when you trim down some of the slow motion. I will concede with you on some of those points. I'm not going to refute that. However, you're comparing a pure hypothetical to a greedy corporate mandate rush job that pretty much just ripped off out pretty much the heart of the story and ripped off the 2012 Avengers and called it a day.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I guess the whole thing and I'd love to talk more about it and do some more homework because I still I've watched them both multiple times and I still came out, man. I miss Justice League sometimes, and maybe it's like just the slow motion really gets hurts and
it gets grating. It gets grating. Not gonna lie.
Comic book movie
and like her sniffing the sweater. I just don't like it. I just didn't like that.
It's tacked on in places. I won't refute that. It is tacked on in places.
Or like, for example, Aquaman's song. Like I liked it better in Justice League where it was like a rock song, like kind of really going with his vibe instead of slow motion, this like totally antithetical to like what his vibe should be song. Like
here's the thing, because Snyder was trying to approach it as these are gods instead of like Marvel, because Marvel is gonna do a needle drop like that with like the rock song. And here's the other thing about the Joss thing is that it didn't work for the vibe already established in the universe. But anyway,
that's a good point. That's a really good point. Yeah,
exactly. And by the way, and Nick, I would love to have you on again to talk about this more. It's a great conversation. Anyway, so. And by the last can ask this, so what's so what's like so how do you guys rate the finale? I give it a 5.
The finale a 5, the whole series a season.
It's an improvement over season 1.
I would give it the whole season a 7.
Yeah. How about you, Teladia?
A 7, yeah.
Nick, JJheat? JJheat. Anyway, so and Nick hasn't seen it, so we'll just move on from that. But anyway, and then Wombat says a 7. Yeah, that's about the average. So let's talk about New York Comic Con. Then we'll talk about your comic, Nick. So we're gonna start with the DC news. Anyone that was complaining that the new Lego Batman game is not going to include any Snyderverse stuff. Teladia, what was revealed?
Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, Batmobile skin.
Yep. So essentially, Nick, have you seen the trailer for the new Lego Batman game?
I didn't. I've been reading up on some of the news, but I didn't watch anything. I do wonder, do you think that they did that to appease, or do you think that was the plan the whole time to do that?
That was a plan the whole time, because when you look at like the idea of the game is basically telling an original story that pays homage to all of the different eras of Batman. So it'll be like all the movie eras if they can, and it's like all the comic eras and stuff. So it's really just combining everything of Batman into one game.
But the thing is, and here's the thing though, Nick, so many people, because when you saw the trailer, with the exception of how Alfred's portrayed, you didn't see anything about the Snyderverse version. But so people, especially one person in particular, tried to claim, oh, it's not going to be involved at all, when it's like, no, there's just not much to work with that's solo Batman.
Because there wasn't a solo Batfleck movie,
true.
so there's not that much that they could do. But it's like you still have like some scenes from like BVS, like the warehouse fight, the Batmobile chase that you can do if you want to do like a Batfleck thing. But
and like I said, Alfred is clearly Irons.
Yeah. So, but the point is, I love the Batman Twitter account because this is how they market this, and this is like one of the best. So they show the goal because the skin that we're talking about is that so they're releasing Lego models of like all the Batmobiles. I'm getting the BVS one, but and on the back it gives you an access to a download code where you can get a gold-plated Batmobile. For the Batfleck one, it literally says, and this is the best thing. It literally says, actually, you know what? I'm gonna pull this up. Actually, Teladia should have dropped the link in here. Okay, it says the Batmobile gets a paint job that Martha would be proud of, and I reply,
Why did you say that name?
I had there's never been a more appropriate time to use that clip. But I'm like, okay, that's actually really cool about that. But it's like beyond that. We also know that we're getting like a new Absolute Universe like book with Absolute Catwoman. But so Nick, have you heard of DC's Absolute Universe?
Oh yeah, and because I was a big fan of the other Snyder, Scott Snyder, and Greg Capullo's Batman. And so when it was coming out, I was really excited. I really wanted to get it. However, doing my comic just sucks up time and sucks up money, and I just wasn't able to get into it.
Yep.
I have heard a lot about it though, and people really seem to like the Absolute Batman stuff.
It's insane. So basically, what it is, it's Batman, but he's not rich, and it's like with Wonder Woman, it's Wonder Woman, but she's raised in hell. So it's all these characters are taken out of their regular like environment, and like. They're still heroes. That's the key point here. But they're doing one for Catwoman, where she's a cat burglar, but she has like a suit that can allow her to like cloak. And I have the character design that I'm going to share right now. So these are the character design sheets that we have here, and it's like so.
Oh, I've seen this. Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently the helmet has its own AI as well, so it's kind of like I guess Jarvis,
Iron
well.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like she plugs a magazine into her like she uses guns and it shoots like stun rounds. So that's actually really cool. I dig that.
And it's pale. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. So and by the way, NJ, before you ask, because I know you're gonna ask. We didn't get any news about Wonder Woman yet because that panel is tomorrow. And Nick, so you don't know. Do you know who Tom King is?
You may need a refresh.
All right, so Tom King is a comic book writer, and he used to work for the CIA, and he's currently on the Wonder Woman book right now, and it is one of, if not the worst runs in the character's history. So we've all been praying for the day when he announces he's leaving the book. So. The rumor is it could be announced tomorrow at New York Comic Con. So I'm heading off the pass before I get like a bunch of DMs saying, "Did he say it? Did he say it? Did he say it?"
What I heard is that it was a slow burn, which often means it's kind of boring, but I'm interested.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a slow burn, but it's like a slow chemical burn where the burn. So it's slow. It's slow. Trust me. Actually, you know what? Take the scene of Anakin burning up on Mustafar and put it on 25% speed. That's the slow burn.
Oh, ouch.
And the charred remains is all the fans. What you want to say, Teladia?
So I was going to say this, right? We got to talk about. I know that we want to talk about Tom King. I get it. I know.
I had to update the audience, Teladia, okay? Because someone's going to ask me that.
I know, but we got to talk about the Absolute book because that was major drops. You know, I just taking a look in my.
So, yes, like so far we have 8 Absolute books, a couple of which are like 6 issues. So not all of them are ongoing. I want to be clear on this. Yeah. So it's the Trinity, Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, which I still don't know what the hell is going on in that book. Green Arrow and Catwoman, which I'm like, okay, that's
Wait a minute. What I miss about Flash and Green Lantern?
No, I was just listing all of the absolute books that we have right now.
Okay, yeah. Okay, when you said the Trinity, because there is always, yeah. All right, that's what threw me off.
Absolute Green Arrow get killed off by the Absolute Justice League recently?
Yes,
no, Green Arrow, yes, but that could be. Sorry.
It could be a prequel book, is what I'm saying.
Or it could deal with one of the other Green Arrows, like Roy or Connor.
You could.
Did they announce an Aquaman book by any chance?
No, the current ongoing Aquaman book is like main universe Arthur. It's really good too, but it's like there's no absolute Aquaman yet. They reference the Atlanteans and absolute Wonder Woman, but it's not like there's an absolute like Aquaman yet. I think there will, but there's not yet.
We still got to talk about that KO, man. That KO book.
DC KO. That's enough to do its own series. So basically, Nick, what DC is doing is, you know how in anime they always have like a tournament arc?
Yeah.
That's what they're doing here. That's what they're doing here.
They're doing it. Go on.
If you do it right, I think anything done well is worth it. But
here's the problem, Nick. So they have this like kind of a contest going on where you can make your own brackets, and if it matches up, you win a prize. Here's the problem. The characters included in the make your own bracket, some of them don't make it to the actual tournament. So a lot of that was just DC screwing with fans. And I go, well, that's not fair.
Agreed.
I'm like, wait a minute. So you're telling me that it's like, because to win the whole thing, you need to have a perfect bracket. DC just made it so we won't have a perfect bracket by certain characters not being included in the tournament. And I go,
to be fair, I think some of those brackets, one in particular, is kind of being updated by default.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Batman, because you don't want Batman to hog the spotlight, so that was going to be obvious.
Right.
But yeah, regardless, I like KO. I'm going to do my an entire episode on it when like the whole series comes out. But it's like the point is DC came out swinging, and it's like, do we even have a bunch of new like miniseries like Swamp Thing? There's even, by the way, did you guys see that Kelly Thompson was talking about a possibility of Absolute Grail?
Ooh.
So Nick, do you know who Grail is?
I actually don't.
She's the daughter of Darkseid with an Amazon, and she's like a Wonder Woman villain, but she's like one of the coolest like new villains for Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we have like Swamp Thing, and then DC Vertigo is coming back with a lot of their series. So there's a lot of cool DC stuff. Now, before we get to Marvel, Nick, tell us about your comic. Roy Beckwith was the Cursed Continent. And I'll share my screen while you do that.
Oh, cool. Yeah. It's a weird Western that's pretty gritty, and it's a big plan. So it's supposed to be 64 issues. When I say supposed to be, I mean, it is going to be 64 issues. Well, I mean, I didn't, it's a story that like the structure decided how long it's going to be. I didn't decide.
That's a good sign. That's a good sign.
So it's going to be 64 issues, 8 issue arcs, and 28 pages each issue.
Okay.
The first arc centers around this character, the Yazita Witch, and she's vengeful. She's been brought back from the dead, and she's seeking revenge on some innocent settlers of a town called Claystown. Roy Beckwith is kind of he's gone down in a bad path in his past and done some things he wish he hadn't done for the cavalry, including doing some bad things to some Native Americans, some Yavapai and Tonto Indians during the Yavapai Wars, which is a real event. And he he's basically comes upon Claystown. And is he gonna, try and do the right thing, or is he gonna just, keep doing what he's been doing, which has been like opium and, the WHO, RE word. I don't know. He's doing stuff he shouldn't be doing.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of stuff he shouldn't be doing, but he's trying to redeem himself from that, and I think that people will find that the Yazita witch is his path back from that, right? So
Okay, I see. So it's basically what was the decision process behind having it be a Western? Because I don't see a lot of those like nowadays.
yeah, so it actually had nothing to do with like wanting to be different or like set apart or anything like that. Or, oh, hey, Westerns, maybe that's coming up next or something like that. It's a character that I had come up with 10 years ago and wrote a screenplay or two with that character. And I just knew, man, no one's going to pay for this. This is like going to be 3 movies. It's like it's going to be like Pirates of the Caribbean level production. Like no one's ever going to make this. And I just really love the story a lot, and I think it's really interesting. Explore some moral questions. It's kind of dark sometimes, but I really wanted it to exist. And comic books seems like the easiest way to make it happen myself. Instead of trying to find $500,000 to make it 3 times. So that's why it's a Western. Is initially he was kind of a present day bounty hunter, but pretty quickly I realized, man, like he doesn't fit here. Like he belongs in the Old West. And I grew up herding cattle and around people in my family who it's kind of, it can be kind of scary sometimes.
Right, what you know, in other words.
Yeah, right. What you know, exactly. And I grew up with a lot of people watching Westerns and things like that. So it just kind of, it just fit me. Right, what you know, exactly. So
that works. And the art is stellar, bro. This looks really good.
I appreciate that. That has nothing to do with me, except that I picked the people that know how to do it.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's always the first like hurdle, right?
Yeah. Oh,
it's the one thing keeping me from any of my books.
Oh yeah, finding an artist is really hard. I got lucky with Jarrett. He was involved. We were going to pitch to Image, or we did pitch to Image. Didn't get through, but that was back in 2023, and he was, he's still up and coming, but I got lucky with him because I found him after days and days of searching on Upwork, and he's now not on there. So lucky me, I got in there while he was still on there.
Nice.
But so he's great. And Fabi Marquez is a Brazilian colorist. She just got a series, New Mutants with Marvel.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
it gave some people who are already up and coming.
Yeah, some people who are up and coming. I don't know. I'd like to just think that I can spot, quality, and that maybe.
Oh yeah, the coloring on this is incredible. So let me ask you this: what was like some of the challenges that like you face writing this and getting the idea from pen to paper? Because I'm writing a comic myself currently, and it's like there's always like that moment where like you stand there staring at a blank page, and it's like, what do I do?
Oh yeah. No, I get that. So when I was younger, man, I would just like write a script, like just start to finish. I would sit down, no plot or like kind of a vague idea of where I wanted to go, and just write it. And it never turned out as great as I wanted it to be. And so like I developed a really complex story structure over like, it's been 10 years since I created this character. So like over 10 years, I've created a really complex story structure so like, I mean, like they say Dan Harmon from Rick and Morty and Community, he saw the hero's journey and thought, man, this needs to have some more symmetry to it. And so he made it more simple and gave it some symmetry. But I thought that it was too simple, and I wanted something that was complex but still had symmetry. So that's kind of what I did. And it's really complicated to get into it, but like basically, like even just like the characters, like I have a geometric shape that's, you won't know what this means, but it's an octahedral tessellation, and it's literally has all 35 characters and determines when they come in and out of the series and how long their arc is and kind of where they go, and even determines like their, what I call a character core, which is like who they are and the beliefs they hold and their worldview. And it determines like all of that. And obviously I can tweak things and do, well, I know this character exists, and so I want them to be here, and you know, and you can change things to your liking as much as you can. But for me, like structure, and if you're not trying to do all that crazy stuff, like I would just say, man, for sure, like write it as vague as you can, and then edit that, and then go into another layer of detail. And I mean like the whole story, like where you're going to go all the way to the end, and then just go another layer of detail, and then edit that, and then just do that until it's now a script. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, exactly. And the problem that like I had is like, there really is no like standard format for a script, because what I like to do when I'm dealing with like creative stuff is I like to look at like templates and how the professionals do it and stuff. And the number one thing I keep saying is that, yeah, there's like full script or like the Marvel way, but either way, there's no like, here's the way you're supposed to do it. It's more like, just write the damn thing. And that was the trouble I had, because I'm like, how do I write this in a way that it makes sense to the artists?
Yeah, I see. And I come from like doing film and stuff. So like I've done a bunch of short films and written screenplays. And so like that's kind of baked into what I know how to do. Like, because you have to be able to describe what it looks like. Sometimes like even what the camera angle is, like you have to be able to put all that stuff in, especially because I've been directing. So maybe it's just kind of second nature after doing a lot of that stuff. But yeah, it's tough sometimes to, you know, write what you're picturing in your head. And I think Tarantino said that a lot. Like once he figured out how to explain what's in his head, then everything else was made way easier. So like, you know, I can see why that's super necessary. It is super necessary to be able to do that.
Yeah, it is.
But it's tough.
So, so what tiers are available for this project?
Yeah, so well, we have there was an early bird. Sorry, guys, it's gone. But there's the bundle, which is, we have 5 covers. So we have one by Carrie Nord, who did Conan and Exo Manowar and a bunch of other stuff. And then Jason Sean Alexander, who did like Abe Sapien and Spawn for a while.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
His is some pretty good names.
Thanks. It was tough to reach out, and you know, hopefully it was worth it. I think that they did a really good job on the covers, and people seem to like them. There's a tie right now between the cover you're looking at, which is Jason Sean Alexander's, and Todd Beats' cover. There's a tie right now, as far as how many copies people have been getting of those. I can't pick a favorite. I love them all. I'm not allowed to pick a favorite.
Yeah, exactly.
But they are amazing. And then the other one, so Todd Beats, he does a lot of covers. Like he hasn't done like a full series yet. He's kind of up and coming as well. He did Battle Beast. He did the San Diego Comic-Con Battle Beast cover. Yeah. The exclusive, which beautiful cover.
Yeah.
But, I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, with the up close like battle damage. Battle Beast where he's like bleeding face. Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, so he did that. Yeah, and he's done some other stuff too. That's my favorite one that he did. But so this is his cover, and you can get all 3 of those plus the 2 that Jarrett and Fabi did. You can get those for $55, and the reason is like, so the 3 special guest covers are more expensive because they were
Mhm.
more expensive for me. But then the other 2 are less expensive. So you can get in at $5 digitally or $10 for the basic standard cover, which is the one with that one. Yeah, that one. I really like that one too.
Me
That one's
too.
really
That looks cool.
and it shows like what's happening in the book. You know what I mean? Which always bugs me when it has nothing to do with what's going on in the book.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like variant cover for the sake of variant cover, and and there's 11 of them sometimes, especially IDW. But yeah, so wanted to do something big. We might not always do 5 covers, but for our first issue, we wanted to
Makes sense.
do it. Yeah,
It's a good starting point. Play it safe.
yeah, and I wasn't sure how to price it, so I kind of looked at everyone else's, and I would say, what did they price it at? How many pages is theirs? And like do math. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So per page.
That was the tough part for me because I'm like, how do I do this so people will actually buy it?
Yeah, you don't want to go too low to where like there's a happy medium where if you go too low, you might lose money, but like 2, it's like if you go too low, people might just assume it's of low quality and they don't want it.
Yeah.
But if you go too low, and so I try to find a happy medium.
Yeah, exactly.
I personally feel it's like it depends on the page count and everything, but I always look at 15, 20. If you have a decent page count, it's like 40, 60 pages. That's good for that. If it's 20 pages, then you bring it down.
Yeah, so this one's 28. So yeah, I basically did like math per page count. I can't remember what it came out to, but yeah, so I thought 10 was fair. Plus, it's kind of a round number.
Yep.
And then that one will be reprinted. The one you're looking at now will be reprinted forever. So it's less valuable as a collectible. But then the other one is Kickstarter exclusive. So like, I'm so strict on this. I'm not even getting one of these. I'm getting one. I had my mom buy it so that I could get one of these because literally I'm not printing more of these than the campaign sells. So this one's going to be more valuable as a collectible if the series ends up, finishing and gaining traction and stuff. So that one's a little more expensive. And then the other ones just cost more. Like, they're big artists,
Yeah.
So nothing against Jarrett and Fabi, obviously. They're amazing artists, but they are still upcoming. So I was able to not have to spend
believe
as
me,
much.
I know how that is.
Yeah. So, yeah, I love all the covers. And honestly, if you want to support, like, I consider myself like just a storyteller. Like I'm really focused on that. I'm not, hey guys, I bet you like my politics. You should buy my book. You know? Like, I'm not doing that. I focus
Man of
on
culture.
Story.
There you go.
Man of culture. I focus on story. I focus on character, and I think that's what made like comics and TV great for a long time, and that's fallen away in a lot of areas. And it's still out there. Like it's just less prevalent. But so that's what I focus on. If you want to support that and you think all those are great, go ahead and get all of them. If not, you got some options, and they're all add-onable. I think they're all $1 off if you add them on. Obviously, your best deal per book, so it sort of, because the $15 ones are more expensive. But like you're getting the biggest discount by getting the bundle for $55. But you can add on, get $1 off for adding on, that kind of a thing. And then there is a subscription for the first 8 issues, which I didn't expect anyone to go for, but we've had 3 people get it. And that's just because I think, they like the project and they know what I'm about. I planned this for a long time. It's been 10 years I've had this character and this story, and through 2 or 3 years that I've been planning it as a comic book. So they know what I'm about. They want to support it, and I'm very grateful to them. Amazing I didn't expect anyone to go for it. And then there's a big one, which is like, no one's going to get it. And I'm okay with that. But they call it a price anchor, which is like, make something expensive and then everything else will seem cheaper by comparison.
Okay. There you go.
Yep.
So it's the premium 8-issue subscription, which would be every single cover for all of the first 8 issues. So, yeah, which is why it's so expensive. But I don't expect anyone to go for it. But I put it out there as a price anchor, and I don't know. What if someone did? You know?
You never know, bro.
You never know.
Never know.
But yeah, so those are the tiers. You can get individual comics. You can do add-ons. I've got some stickers that I did. I wanted to do stickers, but I didn't want to just do art from the comic. And I also didn't want. I didn't have time at the time to get my artist to do stuff. And I just thought, man, I'm not a horrible drawer, and I know how to draw ducks really well because there's a series that I had been doing called Melman and the Mystical Paintbrush that is about a mallard. So I just thought I might do that one day. It'd be cool to do stickers with all of the characters as ducks. So you can get stickers of the characters.
That's so good. I love that.
Thanks. Yeah. So you can if you want. Some people have. It's not as popular as I would have liked, but you can get that as an add-on.
That works.
As well as signatures.
That's cool.
So
that's cool.
Thanks.
That's really funny. I've never heard of that. That's funny. That's so good. I love that.
Thank you. I figure I'll do it on all of them. Just switch up which characters it is so each 8-issue arc involves 9 characters.
Okay.
And they kind of rotate in and out. But so the stickers are 4 characters. So I have room to play around. I don't have to just I don't only have 4 characters that I could do as stickers. So I figured do more characters as as stickers and stuff, and I thought it'd be interesting. But yeah, some people have picked it up. Grateful to those guys. I put a lot of work into those ducks.
Yeah,
so.
It's great. I love that.
Thanks, man.
That's really cool.
So that's the comic book.
Yeah,
Nice.
Please, if you can, back this book. He's really put a lot of heart into it. So if y'all can just.
The link is already in the description, and I'm going to put the link in the chat again. But yeah, so obviously back it if you can. But so let's move on to our last topic of the night. And by the way, Nick, the comic looks stellar. So great job.
Yeah, it looks great.
Thank you.
So,
Best of luck.
Yeah.
Marvel news. So Marvel confirmed something that Robert and I have been tracking for a while. So you know how they're starting this event called Ultimate Endgame?
Yeah.
It's actually going to end the Marvel Ultimate Universe.
Yeah.
You could say, Robert, could you say they're giving the Ultimate Universe an ultimatum?
Yep.
Regardless, I hope someone's heard that phone. Because I freaking called it.
Yeah, there you go. All right,
yeah.
I had to.
Explain why Brevoort has been so smug about Spider-Man.
I gotta say, right? I wonder whose joke is worse, Jared's or JJheat's. Put it in the chat.
Let the chat decide.
God, you're turning my own audience against me, you dicks. My God. So
Hey.
One, that's what she said, and 2, you make it too easy.
Anyway, but it's so the idea is, Nick, I'm sure you've heard, at least on the internet, how horrible the current Spider-Man run is.
Well, at least how the previous run was.
That
Anyway.
laugh is all I got to hear. But
yeah, I have heard a lot about it.
It is bad.
At least how bad the previous run was. This one is bad too, but I still say not as bad.
But anyway, so Marvel did they redid an Ultimate Universe. It's not the same thing as the last time, but it's like a new kind of like Marvel's Absolute, only it came out before Absolute, where they gave Spider-Man kids and Married to Mary Jane, literally everything everyone wanted, and he grew up. And that book outsold. So Tom Brevoort, he's the current editor of the Avengers line. He was a petty little a-hole and was constantly bashing the fans, because we all know that works, and essentially we know now it's because he knew that this was going to be a temporary thing, which I'm like, all right, we got it. But it's at the very least, this does mean that like a few of the books that I don't like are ending, like Ultimate X-Men, which is not in any way attached to the X-Men, but it's kind of odd. But I'm like, okay. And I will say also, isn't it kind of funny, Robert? They're trying to relaunch the X-Men again.
Yep, I'm aware of that, or at least do an event, a soft launch event.
Yeah.
For the fifth time this year.
Oh, real quick, one more DC thing I need to mention. They are making a multi-part animated Batman Nightfall movie.
Written by Jeremy Adams.
Nick, have you read or at least heard of the story of the Batman story Nightfall?
Tertiary. It's obviously where he gets his back gets broken by Bane, right? So.
It's one of the most drawn out long stories I have ever read.
Yeah.
Well, at least when you count, if you go with Night Quest, if you just go by the Nightfall and Night Thing, which believe it or not, those were the only trades for a while. Were the beginning and the end.
They're college textbook length, Robert. What do you mean it's not that long?
I meant the original trades.
Okay, I see what you're talking about.
Night Quest was just a glorified interlude in the middle, and it mostly comprised of tie-ins.
I see. Dave brings up the good point. I think we all knew the other shoe was going to drop an Ultimate Spider-Man eventually. Marvel here's the thing. So I'm obviously more of a DC fan. I think most of us are more DC fans. Nick, how about you? DC or Marvel?
Like I always would say Marvel, but I think that from my reading history, it would be DC. So I was getting Marvel now and the New 52, like a lot of titles.
There you go.
Yeah, and I was getting a lot of titles, and I only was reading DC, and then I was reading Dan Slott's for like the first like 8 issues, and I didn't read any Captain America or Iron Man. Like I had them all, I still have them, but like I didn't read any of them. So like I say Marvel, but probably DC, probably.
I have to ask if you're reading if you said you're reading pretty much everything with the New 52. Have you read Superman, Wonder Woman? I have to ask.
No, I didn't. I was reading the Superman one with Jeans.
That's good. There's a series there's a series in the New 52 because, of course, in the New 52 they made Superman and Wonder Woman a couple. They give them their own book. It is for the first 12 issues. It is great, and then it goes right down the toilet.
Man, what's that about? Did they switch writers, or was it?
Yes, they switched writers to someone that hated the relationship.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it's probably been beaten to death, but like Daredevil and Daredevil Born Again, the TV shows, it's like, let's make sure they don't even look at the old Daredevil and make sure, it's like, why would they keep doing that? It seems like a pattern, not just TV, but comics and everything. Like, what is this pattern with? Let's get someone who hates what we're doing right now that's successful and have them finish it off,
Did the people who work on Born Again say they hated the original?
I think that they said it was required that they not watch the original, is what I think they said. The studio required they can't
going in to testing it.
That's worse. You're right. It's worse to detest it. But also just like the executives clearly hated it. So they got someone who didn't know about it and then had them do it and said, don't even look at the old one because I hate it. So it's kind of similar, but I see what you mean though. Yeah, it's
marching orders basically. And in the original Daredevil series wasn't even that bad. I mean, it was cheesy at points, especially by the time you got to the Defenders. But all in all, it wasn't bad.
I actually really love the Daredevil stuff, but you're right though. The arc with the foot, the hand. I would mix them up. The foot and the hand.
Whichever.
Ninja
Well, yeah,
Turtles.
one was the foot was a ripoff of the hand.
Oh, okay. yeah. But yeah, the hand, yeah, a little cheesy there when you got into the hand stuff, but otherwise I really liked the original Netflix Daredevil. But yeah, a little cheesy when it gets to the hand.
There's only one good news that came out of Marvel, and that was Queen in Black, the event.
Which is like, it's like Hela, Thor's like half sister, like.
No, that's just the movie. In the
all right,
comics,
Hela, the goddess of death, like essentially takes over as like the queen of the symbiotes, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you have to wonder which came first.
That's true.
Rivals or this?
It based upon like how long it normally takes, I would say, I don't know. They'll probably have.
I would have thought you could say the comic was first, but then you also realize how much Ewing is just being pulled around by editorial.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, so
last ditch thing of like, do this.
Yeah, so that's some really good stuff. So yeah, of the two, I love how you literally have people commenting that they wish DC owned Marvel because DC is getting all the cool announcements, and Marvel is like, you know, those universes you all were enjoying, we're gonna take those away. We're gonna take this away. You don't want those. So it's like, and I'm like,
or at the very least, we knew, or at the very least, we knew this was gonna be a limited run.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I wish it weren't, but I don't know, whatever. So before we wrap up, so tomorrow there's supposed to be a panel where they're going to announce which comic book series are either ending or getting new creative teams. Now, here's the thing. We're going to go around, anyone that can participate. All right. Which series I'm going to go first. Which series do you think are going to get new creative teams? With me, I'm about 60% sure Wonder Woman is going to be among them. That may be wishful thinking, but there's a lot of factors with that. I would say Green Lantern, they'll announce it, but there's enough issues until they get to 600 that they can announce it now and then get to 600. So that's why I say maybe Green Lantern. Flash absolutely is getting a new thing. Detective, and I would say maybe Titans, but that's what I got. How about you, Robert?
I would say a lot of what you just said. I personally think, as far as books that are safe, I would say most of the super books are.
I would say so.
Nightwing, I think, is going to end.
Okay, I could see that.
Now, Catwoman and Harley, I'm pretty sure is going to end. Catwoman, I don't know. Anyone else is ongoing? I mean, Green Lantern, there's a number of books that are either too new, like Superman Unlimited, or Batman. Like, obviously, that one is perfectly safe.
I guess I'll go ahead and go next. Green Arrow, because the Condon run is recently wrapped up or is about to wrap up. Batman and Robin, because for all intents and purposes, that's just a rebranded Robin book for Tim Fitzmartin's Tim Drake Robin run, and that ended up not going well. But a rebrand aside, without PKJ's already being transferred off to work on DCKO, it's either going to be a new creative team or they're just going to end the series.
Wait. What do you mean by that? He's just doing one of the one-shots.
Oh, I heard rumors on the grapevine he might be leaving the book. Okay, never mind on that.
Well, he might be leaving the book. It's been his weakest selling.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Oh, he's not. DCKO is just an event. So how would he roll on to DCKO when that's just an event?
Like I said, just him being on the book in general. I just know that for right now he's on DCKO. I'm not saying he's leaving Batman and Robin for DCKO.
Anyway.
Okay. Anyway.
Move on. But anyway, Teladia or Nick, any thoughts? Have you guys been tracking DC sales? I don't expect you to. It's just like
No.
I'm trying to include everyone in this.
I haven't, to be honest with you, because I've been too busy dealing with the DC gaming side as I'm the gamer, of course, as you guys know. So I've been trying to track everything on the DC gaming, but especially from Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. And yeah, but if anything, one book that really, really excites me is the DCKO book.
That's fun. And yeah, we're definitely going to do an entire stream just on that series because that really deserves it. Nick, any thoughts, or are you just not tracking it? It's okay if you weren't. It's because it's a lot.
Well, I haven't been tracking it. I've been like just overtime, and then if I'm not overtime, I'm working on the comic book, and that's been like for 2 years now. But I will say though, this is what I would hope is that the quality stuff doesn't get new creative teams, and then I would think that the stuff that is making money will not get new creative teams. But I doubt that's going to be the case. That just doesn't seem to be how executives work. So that's my take without knowing much.
DC's been better at it than Marvel, at least.
A little bit, I would say so.
Come on, the way they handled that Red Hood situation.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, I think that's a good place to leave it. So, Nick, it was a pleasure having you on. Let everyone know what you got coming out and where everyone can find you. And there's Britt saying low expectations. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, you guys can find me on @StrangePages on X. That's like mainly where I am. So you can find me on there. And yeah, we've got this Kickstarter for Roy Beckwith, and hope that does well. Hope you guys go back it. It's gonna be a journey getting all 64 issues out over the next 90 years or whatever it is. So hopefully it's like 10 years max. But yeah, so it's been great coming on. It's really fun to kind of be the guy that is learning through the stream. So it was cool, guys. And thanks for not kicking me out after I said I
gotta be honest. My like mouse was hovering over the kick button. I'm only kidding. I was like, well, first off, we were real shocked. We were like, that's the first on the show. Wow.
Gotta have some diversity of opinion, I suppose. But it's been great either way. I don't want to be in an echo chamber anyways. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And to be clear, no, it's all good. I encourage a diversity of opinion.
Yeah, and I'm just joking as well, man. You guys have been great, so.
Hell yeah, and you're always welcome on the show. Robert, how about you?
I got my link down below. I got Pro Teacher's Noob still going. I will this weekend start a Let's Play streaming of Face the Unholy Trinity for my spooky gaming month.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
And Teladia, how about you?
You guys can check me out on YouTube at Teladia Plays and at Teladia Plays _ on X. What I got coming up on my channel is next Saturday, I'll be doing a live stream talking about episodes 6, 7, and 8 with Jared as we're talking Peacemaker. We'll be reviewing those episodes. I want to hear my audience to get to hear his opinions on it, because I did episodes 1 to 5 with Dave the Film Junkie and Ronan Unchained. So I thought I'd shake it up a little bit and let's see what other people think on the show. Also, I'll be doing a video potentially talking about the Lego Batman stuff in regards to BVS, the BVS Batmobile, all the stuff you're going to get with the game from the news we dropped today, and potentially more. So stay tuned for that. And also stay tuned because I will be doing a collab with JJheat in the future.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Speaking of which,
JJheat, go ahead.
you can find me at JJheat Blaze or JJheat75 on Twitter or X. As previously mentioned, I'm planning a collab with Teladia in the future, likely either Peacemaker or DCU predictions in general. Also, I got New Direction Heroes in Crisis with Jared. I'm planning that hopefully before the end of this month. And also, I have another collab planned with Robert, but that one is to be announced.
Also, apparently it got announced that like other heroes are going to show up in DCKO. I need to do this before we end. What do you notice about some of these heroes, boys?
Oh my God. I just seen it.
What's weird about this?
I just
They're all
seen
Fortnite
it.
skins.
No,
Not that. Look who's included.
Sub-Zero,
Do we?
Homelander.
Are these people all DC? Like
No.
No.
Wait,
Yeah,
that's
that's what I'm talking about.
Vampirella?
Yeah.
Vampirella and Red Sonja.
My question is, are these actual fighters or is it just like a variant cover? Because if it's
I think they're
fighters,
variant covers.
in which case I'm buying that Red Sonja one. Oh my god.
Is
Wow.
that the Exorcist in the back?
No. He's
No,
just said.
it's Homelander.
No, I mean on the
Apparently-
right,
You mean here?
top right corner.
Oh, this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Wow.
What is going on?
Wow.
Yeah,
Blow
it's the
up on some
crossover
people,
thing.
dude.
That's great. I'm getting that cover. Oh my god, I didn't know that. I did not know Red Sonja was gonna be a variant cover. Anyway, for me, tomorrow's movie night, we're gonna be covering Birds of Prey, and as far as the Super Wonder Show with Brit, we're gonna be comparing Wonder Woman to Jessica Cruz, Green Lantern, and hopefully reacting to Wonder Woman news. And for Amazon Answers, we're going to be doing a detailed stream on Wonder Woman 800, and we'll see what other content we have coming out.
I
go
forgot
ahead.
to mention, I'll be on Dave the Film Junkie channel tonight, as well as Ronan and Chain. So you'll probably want to see me there as I talk Peacemaker and a lot more different things too.
Sweet.
Nice.
Go check out Teladia. But anyway, stay at work, everyone. And remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lane, and we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.